All right, hello everyone. Welcome to another weekly market review session. We got some incredible stuff to share today. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so again, this is not financial advice and this is just our opinions. Anything we may set on our social media is just our personal views and not necessarily the views held by any other group. Okay, so what's happening last week? Amazon will lay off another 9,000 employees over the coming weeks. Okay, and this is just in addition to the 18,000 individuals that they have been laying off from November to January. So again, some people are thinking in the market that this is more to come for itself. Again, this is all a cost-cutting measure for Amazon and all your big tech firms. Markets have been down. These companies have been down as well. Amazon losing about 44% of its value, all right? Its entire gains from the COVID pandemic being wiped out, meaning if you were an Amazon investor during the COVID period and now your stock would be at around close to break even for yourself. So again, companies' gains have been wiped out because of the pandemic. And again, as things return back to normal, with all these cost-cutting measures, this is how these big tech firms are positioning themselves. Okay, so Amazon laying off another 9,000 for cost-cutting measures. And this has become a very common thing, guys, right? Because in the wake of the pandemic ending, these stocks have fallen greatly. People have gone back to work. There's a lot of cost-cutting measures that are needed. Certain jobs are not needed anymore because there is no influx from the pandemic. So yes, right, Amazon laying off another 9,000 employees. The biggest thing, so I think everybody was following this as well. CEO of TikTok, okay, the CEO of TikTok went up to the US, okay, for a hearing from Congress. And again, US whole issue with this is that TikTok is a China-based company, okay, that's owned by ByteDance. And very simply, again, they want it to be an American company with American values and end its ties to the Chinese government and Communist Party. Okay, so they said because it is a China-based company, there is a lot of issues when it comes to security and national security, and that is why they arranged this meeting at Congress. So the CEO had to go over and defend a lot of the things that TikTok have done or in their current company for itself. So a lot of people are saying that other social media platforms, like Facebook or Twitter, they also carry their own individual risks, but they aren't being subjected to the same treatment as TikTok is getting, right? So again, I think the CEO did mention very clearly that, a lot of businesses and a lot of individuals are on TikTok and having this I would say security or sanctions placed on them, or even let's say removing the platform is not an option because again, the livelihood of a lot of Americans and their jobs are on TikTok, and as we are in a gig economy and with all your influencers and people who are online, it doesn't make sense, if TikTok is suddenly removed because you are impacting the livelihood of all these individuals. So let's see how this unfolds and what continues to happen. Now, it's not the first time that a social media company has been called up to Congress. I think Facebook also faced this as well. And some of the questions asked by Congress were pretty hilarious as well. Okay, if you're not a tech-savvy person, okay, some of the questions asked were pretty hilarious as well. So yeah, right, TikTok facing those same issues now, but mainly because they are a China-based company and America, again, is worried about the national security issues. So I thought this was pretty interesting to share with you guys. Okay, now some other things that happened, which again affected the market, was number one, interest rate hikes. Okay, so interest rate hikes actually happened. People were debating whether or not interest rates would go up because of the falling of certain banks like Silicon Valley, First Republic, and Credit Suisse. Because of all these issues looming the banks, a lot of people were wondering, would the government or the Federal Reserve actually pause interest rate hikes to fix the current problems that they are having and not increase interest rates. But in the end, what happened? Interest rates were increased, 25 basis points increase. So that's about 0.25%. That's what analysts were forecasting, and the Federal Reserve did that exactly. Okay, so 25 basis points hike, and they were saying that they expect at least about one more interest rate hike for the year. All right, at least one more hike for the year to hit about 5.25%. So going to be interesting to see, and let's see what happens. But again, this did affect the markets. It did cause volatility. If you saw how it was when the announcement happened, there was some crazy volatility in the markets. So if you knew how to take advantage of this opportunity, could have been some massive profits for yourself. Okay, so this was interest rate hikes. Now, last one is Deutsche Bank. So another bank, this is a European bank, facing issues as well. Their shares actually went down massively because of the sudden spike in the cost of insuring. Okay, so basically there was an increase in credit default swaps. What credit default swaps are is just basically insurance on bonds or your bond holders in case of default. So they are worried that the banks might default on their bonds, and that's why this insurance or this credit default swaps actually spiked. And this worried some investors or worried individuals because, again, this is not the first bank that's having this issue right now in this environment. We've had Silicon Valley Bank, we've had First Republic, we've had Credit Suisse. Okay, so this is looking like another bank as well. And who knows, this might be, again, the dominoes leading up to something far worse for itself. Okay, so this was another thing that happened in the markets, something to take note of, right? This happened on Friday and did affect and cause a bit of volatility in the markets. Okay, so with that, that's what happened overall last week. Let's look at the charts and see where we can go from here. Okay, so we are on the SPY charts, the S&P 500. This is my 1 year, 1 day chart as always. And you can see very obviously my levels have been holding up well. So again, I told you guys if prices come down, we were looking at 390. Only if it did break this level cleanly, we see it move maybe even as far as 380. But it didn't. It's been holding very steadily here. Went up to my 200 EMA level here, all right? 200 EMA, my 400 level is been holding and rejected and came back down for itself, right? 400 being a round number and also 200 EMA being over here, right? So went up, got rejected and came back down for itself. So again, for this week, okay, later on I'll share, we have some events that could affect the markets and cause volatility. And because of that event, it might gauge or change the direction of the markets. Okay, so again, same thing. We need to see for the short term prices breaking my 200 EMA and 400 price level. Yeah, only when we can cleanly break that and we go above will we have further movement upwards. Okay, so right now that level is about 400 to 402. If we can break that, we will see further movements up to the 406 and even 410 levels. But if not, okay, it's going to come down. It's going to test my 390. And once this 390 breaks, I do know that there'll be further movements down all the way to 385 to 310 for itself. All right, 385 to 380. That is what I am looking at for the downside. Okay, so far momentum is pointing to the upside again, but let us see what happens in the upcoming week. Okay, so that's for SPY. For QQQ as well, my 310 level, all right, very good hold so far for my 310 level. This range, all right, of 310 to maximum about 315 has been holding very well. Only when we can break this cleanly will we have a move up to 320. Okay, if not, then we will see prices come back down to my EMA levels, roughly around 300 to 301. Okay, so again, prices have been holding here. Yet to see in the upcoming week for ourselves how things move for ourselves. Okay, in the last week and last 2 weeks, tech has been the one leading the rally. So that's why we have massive movements up. Okay, prices shooting up, breaking 300. You can see cleanly broke and went up all the way to around 310. So it leaves to be seen this week as well. Again, if the event holds some volatility and worth, maybe might push price to 320. If not, then we will see it fall back down all the way to 300 to 301. Okay, so this is how the markets are doing. Now, like I mentioned, for SPY, if you look when the interest rate hikes were announced. It was on this day, and you can see some massive volatility for yourself. So 2 a.m. is when it came out. If you knew how to take advantage of this opportunity, you could have captured some returns for yourself over here, right? If you knew how to capture it. So again, some of our guys were trading. Even me myself, I was trading as well, and was able to capture some volatility for myself. That's a pretty incredible stuff that was happening this week. Okay, so that's it for the charts. Let's see how markets are going to be this week for itself. Okay, so let's see what's happening this week. Very simple. This week, there's only one event that's really taking note, and that is GDP. All right, so GDP is getting released, okay, and unemployment claims too. Okay, so on this day, two important things, GDP and unemployment. These two are going to definitely affect the markets. How? Very simply, number one, with all these individuals laying, these companies, sorry, big tech firms laying off companies, and also our major banks, having issues like Silicon Valley and First Republic, Credit Suisse, now Deutsche Bank. So far, there's no big names. I mean, these are prominent names, but you don't see JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs. I think if names like this start popping out with some worries on their balance sheet or some issues, I think the markets might have a bit of an emotional reaction to it or a bit of overreaction. Okay, so that's one. Second thing, with GDP and unemployment claims, with all these layoffs that's been happening and all these bank issues, again, if we do see growth or some growth posted for GDP, I think markets will react positively to that. I think markets will like that. But if there is stagnation or maybe numbers go down, all right, maybe GDP goes down, that means the economy is not growing or is stagnant, then maybe markets might react differently for it, all right? It might foresee something negative. It might not like that economy is not growing anymore, and it might have a negative reaction. Same thing for unemployment claims. All right. So for unemployment claims, again, the number of people filing for unemployment insurance. So this number, again, if it's up, meaning you have more unemployed people, more of them claiming for insurance and help for themselves because they are unemployed. So if we see this number up and we are seeing the forecast having a spike up, then again, might have the markets reacting negatively to it because they see unemployment is up. They see something that is not good in the short to mid-term future for the markets. So again, this is something that I'm going to be watching out for. I think it could cause volatility in the markets. Okay. But again, guys, despite this volatility, despite all these events that are happening, you are still, or the TWC community or the guys over here are still able to take advantage of this and make returns for themselves. Not just returns, but consistent returns for themselves, okay? And they are making daily income for themselves when it comes to this. Okay, so that's something that's spectacular, but they are doing it for themselves. And again, I don't just want you to take my word for it. Look at the trade results that they are getting. Okay, literally, again, 6%, close to 7% in a period of 13 minutes. Right? Literally, guys, 13 minutes can net you 7%. And that is about $160 USD in your pocket, right? Additional income just like that, okay? Mylene trading with a smaller amount, doing close to 17%, $100, and literally this is done in a span of 35 minutes, all right? Literally 35 minutes, she's made 100 USD for herself. Prash, making 24%, $290 in half an hour, right? Close to $300 in his pocket, just for a 30-minute trade. How nice would that be, guys? Right? Literally 30 minutes, you're in a trade. That's all you need. And you're making close to $300 for yourself. Easy money for yourself to help you with your financial stress that you may be feeling. Okay. And again, it doesn't stop there, guys. Okay. Aloysius, all right. Aloysius making about 6%, use a bigger capital for himself, making about $650. All right, $650. That is close to about 800 SGD. All right, $650 just like that in a span of 13 minutes. All right, crazy, guys. All right, crazy returns. Mata making close to 10%, $300. Desmond. All right, so Desmond again killing it as well for himself. Again, having losses for himself, but that's natural. That is all part of the trading game. But you see for yourself, his shorter term trades, all right, literally those for 7 minutes and for 1 day. Look at how much they have netted him, all right? 7 minutes, he's made about $340. And for 1 day trade, he's made about 820%, all right? Literally 1K, all right, about 1K in a span of 1 day for himself, okay? How incredible is that, guys, right? Some people work a whole month or about a whole month or a whole couple of weeks just to make 1 to 1.5K for themselves. He is doing 1K in literally 1 day for himself. That's the whole point of our 1K a day club. Okay, making about 1.1K in the span of 1 day. And it doesn't stop there, guys. I have more guys who were doing some consistent returns for themselves last week. Again, smaller portfolio, guys, but you see they are doing it consistently, right? So Martha again back over here, period of 6 minutes, making for her Microsoft, making for her Tesla as well, all right? Her Tesla as well. Glenn as well, making about 7% on Tesla, Adrian too, and then Prash also back again, doing a swing, all right? A swing on Tesla, 42% in 1 day. Fantastic, right? He used a smaller amount of money, making 42% for himself. If he had a bigger amount of money, oh, this would have been even more incredible for himself, all right? So again, depending on the portfolio size that you are coming, but you look at the percentage and the returns, guys, they are doing it consistently. They are doing it daily for themselves, all right? Daily, this kind of money is coming in for themselves, okay? Jasmine also over here, doing another 18% in 17 minutes. And then we see over here, Keith, all right? Keith is one of our newest members, guys, right? Keith is one of our newest members, literally just joined about 1 week about 1 week ago, right? 1 week ago, guys, Keith has joined us. And look at his trade, guys. Look at his trade. In 1 week, he has learned this skill set and he's already generating 10%, 6%. Look at the duration, right? About 40 minutes and 30 minutes, making about $250 for himself, right? $250 for himself, just 1 week fresh in. Okay, that's the power of this system, guys, right? If you have this system for yourself, like what this TWC community and these guys have for themselves, you are able to do this kind of returns consistently and make some good income for yourself to supplement your financial state. Okay, so with that, guys, if you want to join our free community, okay, our free community in Discord or our Instagram page, then please go ahead and do so. Okay, please go ahead and do so. This is the links and the QR code for it, right? So again, number 1 over here, this is our free Discord community. This is where every week you see me post our weekly market review videos. We post our trade logs that we've taken for the month, okay, to show how the community is doing, what the trade results are like, and okay, also any important resources we have, we post it inside here. Okay, so number 1, the trade free Discord trading community. Go ahead, click the link or scan the QR code. Now, number 2 over here is our Instagram page. Okay, so don't forget to join and follow our Instagram page. It's bit.ly/IWC-Insta. The QR code is here also, right? The QR code is here, and very simply, we post some incredible things like the stocks or the levels we are looking at for certain stocks for the week, where the price can go. And if you're already experienced investor or trader for yourself, you can take a look at these resources. It might be of great help for you. Okay, so again, our Insta, please go ahead and follow it. Some incredible trading resources that are there. Okay, so with that, guys, I come to the end of my weekly market review. Again, it was great speaking and teaching all of you guys and educating you guys on how the week went. I look forward to speaking to each of you next week. So for now, take care, stay safe, and trade safely with the markets.